Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. I am Anel Lee, your host, bringing you raw and authentic wisdom. So, this is part 2 of why women stay in abusive relationships. So, if you have not watched the first part, I'm going to invite you to go back to the previous episode and watch that so you can know what I'm talking about. I want to start off by saying thank you all so much for those amazing comments and messages that I received. It really makes me proud and happy to know that my information is helping you and supporting you all through whatever journey it is that you are on. I have been talking about the Cassie video that surfaced a few weeks ago and some of the reactions or responses that women were having. And I made this video to educate you all on common reasons why women stay, along with today we're going to be talking a little bit more about why women stay, along with red flags. So let's get started. Last episode, I discussed a little bit of the reasons why I stayed in the relationship. But there are a lot of other reasons why women stay that I particularly did not experience, but these are also very common reasons why other women stay. Threats that they've made on children. Other reasons are legal. Maybe they're connected or not connected. So there's two parts to it. Maybe, especially like if they're an attorney or a police officer, because abuse does not discriminate, y'all. If they are someone who is connected, the abuser is connected, they often will use threats of, I'm going to do this to you, I'm going to take the children away from you, especially if they are the main income earner or the only income earner. There's also immigration status. If the victim doesn't have their papers, they're scared. If they're not here legally, they're scared. There may also be societal factors, right? Such as shame. Another big part is also not having the right resources or support. I know that sometimes even in faith-based organizations, they are told to stay, they are told to work on the marriage, they are told that women have to be obedient to their husbands. There's lack of education on the police force, on different agencies, different advocacies. People may not believe them. People may question, why are they staying? Or also them reporting the crime before and nothing has been done. There's no charges against them. They've been isolated from their friends, so they have no support. They've been isolated from their family. So there's a lot of different reasons why women stay. And I know that as society, we saw the backlash, even with having evidence that surfaced on how society responds to domestic violence. That shows that we have so much work to do, so much education that needs to happen, friends. So I hope that this gave you kind of a little insight into understanding a victim's point of view and try to empathize with them instead of judging them. Now let's get into red flags. Some red flags that may exist. Again, this is not therapy. This is not all of the red flags, all of the barriers. This is just some. So I'm going to encourage you to do your own research and get connected to the agencies that will be able to help you get out of your violent, abusive relationship. And if you need some of those resources, make sure to come back next week and I will link some resources and inform you of some of those resources that exist. So some red flags that exist are love bombing. The relationship is moving way too fast. They make you feel loved, they make you feel needed, they make you feel wanted. They're telling you you're the best thing that's ever happened to me. Where have you been all my life? They are wanting to move in, they're wanting to get married. Now, friends, this is not always the case, and I want you to know that this is a red flag. In my situation, my relationship moved extremely quick, but that was not a red flag. My husband now is not abusive. He is the most loving man that I've ever been with, and I'm so grateful for him. But moving fast is a red flag, and it can be a red flag. So just because one or a few of these things exist doesn't mean necessarily that it's a red flag, but it's a combination of some. And just pay attention to the patterns. Another red flag is jealousy. If they're jealous of you having your own friends, of you having your own plans, of you having your alone time, if they try to control who you talk to, what you wear, who you go out with. It could also start off small. So it could start off something by controlling what you wear, but not really telling you you can't wear that. It could be something like, I don't really like the way the red lipstick looks on you. How about you try this nude lipstick? And then escalating to, yeah, I don't like you wearing red lipstick, to you can't wear red lipstick, to maybe that blouse is too revealing. Maybe you should cover up. Escalating to you can't wear that blouse. Also, disregard for boundaries is a huge one. So if you're setting boundaries on, hey, I don't want to hang out on Friday, I'm really tired, but they're like, oh, baby, but I want to see you, I miss you so much. Or your boundaries are constantly being challenged or questioned. Like, why do we have to have these boundaries? You're my girl. I love you. I want to spend time with you. Or if they don't honor your boundary of, I'm not going to give you my password to my phone, or no, you can't have access to email. Friends, every relationship is different. So I want you to understand that what works for some relationships may not work in others. But what I need you to understand is if these things are constantly being challenged, then these are red flags. They have really hot and cold temperatures. So one, they could go from 0 to 100, right? They could be very happy and they could be very angry. They go to from one extreme to another one. They're constantly lying to you. They're constantly getting angry. They're constantly bashing their ex or talking bad about their mom. They have no friends, they have bad relationships with their friends or with their family. They're emotionally distant. They start to maybe call you names, call you out of your name sometimes, and then apologize for it. They're gaslighting you, they're manipulating you, they are embarrassing you, belittling you. So all of these are red flags, friends. Now, I want you to understand that these red flags are not only for your partner, your love interest. This could also be in friends. This could be in coworkers. This could be in bosses and even family members. So these are all toxic, abusive patterns that exist in any relationship that you should really be looking out for. If these behaviors are constantly present, friends, I'm going to need you to kind of start monitoring it and start thinking, is this a healthy relationship for you? Now, understand that safety is always the main goal. And leaving an abusive relationship is always the main goal. But that is not always the case. And sadly, some women or some victims never make it out. There was a recent study that was done where they interviewed abusers who had killed their spouses. And they found in that study that the reasons for them killing their spouse was either because they made threats of separating or they actually separated from them that caused them to kill their partner. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and put some resources in the link. You can always call the domestic violence hotline at 1-800-799-7233. And that's 1-800-799-SAFE. So if you are in a relationship and you need some resources, call them and you could get help 24/7. Friends, next week I will be going more into resources, and I will be going into how you can be an advocate for victims of domestic violence or survivors of domestic violence. I hope you found this video helpful. I will see you all next week.